that 39th birthday, and he is still scoring hat-tricks.
Messi flying forward. Lionel Messi! Another majestic moment!
Argentina might actually be stronger than the team that won the World Cup in 2022.
Every time he touched the ball in and around the 18-yard box as we're watching the game, we're sitting up thinking there might be a goal happening here, there might be an assist happening here.
Let that sink in for a moment. The defending champions have just opened their World Cup campaign with a 3-0 victory over Algeria.
He watches Mbappe go crazy. He watches Haaland go crazy. And he says, young men, hold my beer. Let me show you why they call me the king around here.
Lionel Messi scored the first World Cup hat-trick of his career. He did it on his 200th appearance for Argentina. He did it exactly 20 years after his World Cup debut, and he did it while equaling Miroslav Klose's all-time World Cup goal-scoring record of 16 goals.
He reminded us why he is who he is, and Argentina also reminded us that they are the oldest. Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, over to you.
But here's the part nobody's talking about. Argentina didn't need Messi to carry them. Rodrigo De Paul created the first goal. Alexis Mac Allister helped create the second. Nico Gonzalez assisted the third. Argentina completed 513 passes, kept a clean sheet, limited Algeria to 0 shots on target, and looked every bit like a team that already knows how to win this tournament. And that's what should concern the rest of the world, because this isn't the same Argentina that arrived in Qatar carrying the scars of defeat and the pressure of giving Messi one final chance at glory. This is a team that has already won everything, a team that has added more experience, more depth, more tactical flexibility, and a new generation of talent around the greatest player of all time. 5 straight victories, 15 goals scored, just 1 conceded. Enzo Fernández entering his prime, Alexis Mac Allister entering his prime, Julian Alvarez more experienced, Thiago Almeida more important, Nico Paz and Facundo Medina emerging, and Lionel Scaloni quietly building something that looks bigger than one golden generation. So have we all been looking at Argentina the wrong way? This is why Argentina may have become the biggest problem at the 2026 World Cup.
Argentina didn't walk into this World Cup like a team carrying the weight of being champions. They walked in like a team that already knew exactly what that weight can do to you. 4 years ago in Qatar, this exact group started as favourites and got stunned by Saudi Arabia on opening night. That defeat became part of the legend because they recovered and went on to win the whole thing. But Scaloni admitted after this one that the memory hadn't gone anywhere. The first game still gets to you, he said, which is why beating Algeria 3-0 in Kansas City mattered for more than just the scoreline. This wasn't Argentina beating Algeria, this was the defending champions passing their first emotional test of the tournament. It didn't start clean either. Argentina had a goal chalked off for offside, then Algeria thought they'd struck right back through Faris Chaibi, also disallowed. For a few minutes, Algeria looked properly brave about it too. Anis Hajmouza causing problems from wide, Chaibi finding pockets between the lines, quick passes before Argentina's midfield could settle into its press. Then Argentina found their rhythm, and the game basically ended as a contest. The opener came in the 17th minute and told you everything about why this team is still such a nightmare to play. De Paul, doing his usual job as Messi's personal connector, found him in space. Messi took it 30 yards out, shifted away from his marker, drove forward and curled a left-footed finish past Luka Zidane. Nothing fancy, no 12-pass move, just Argentina's oldest trick. Give Messi one clean lane and watch the entire defence fold in 3 seconds. That was goal number 14 at World Cups. By full time, it was 16, because the second came moments after Mac Allister's strike forced a save Zidane couldn't hold, and Messi was first to the rebound, finishing right-footed this time. The third arrived in the 76th. Nico Gonzalez on from the bench, adding some directness down the left, the move ending with Messi arriving at the edge of the box and bending in another left-footed finish. Hat-trick. his first ever at a World Cup, his 200th cap for Argentina, 20 years to the day since his World Cup debut back in 2006, and now level with Miroslav Klose on 16 World Cup goals, the most anyone's ever scored at this tournament. But making this only about Messi misses the actual headline, because the real warning to the rest of the field wasn't that a 38-year-old can still decide a World Cup match on his own. We knew that already. The warning is that he didn't need to drag this team through any disorder to do it. He was operating inside a team that had the whole match under control around him. 3 goals, 10 shots, 6 on target, 572 passes with 513 completed. Algeria had 7 attempts and were credited with exactly 0 on target. That's the real story right there. They had moments, they had energy, they even had a good little spell near the end of the first half, but none of it ever turned into sustained pressure.
That's what separates this Argentina from the wilder, more chaotic versions of years past. They don't just attack you, they compress the whole game, slow you down, push your wide players into uncomfortable zones, and make every counter feel rushed before it even starts. Emiliano Martinez barely had to make a save because the work in front of him was that tidy. Christian Romero defended aggressively without ever letting it turn into a transition shootout. Lisandro Martinez gave them composure on the ball and bite without it. Facundo Medina, on his World Cup debut, didn't need fireworks. His job was simple: handle Algeria's width, win his duels, don't let the structure crack when the game opened up. With the back line that settled, the midfield basically ran the show. De Paul brought the intensity and the vertical balls forward. Enzo Fernández kept everything circulating. Mac Allister linked the thirds together and was directly responsible for forcing the mistake that led to Messi's second. Almada didn't dominate the match, but starting him told you Scaloni's actual intention. This team wasn't trying to survive the opener, they were trying to play through it. And when the changes came, none of that control slipped. Molina on at half-time for Montiel, Alvarez for Lautaro, Nico Gonzalez for Almada, who then went and assisted Messi's third, Nico Paz on for Messi himself in the 80th, Otamendi for Romero to see it out. That matters because tournaments aren't won by your best 11 alone, they're won by whether the whole structure holds up through heat, fatigue and squad rotation. Argentina's did, without so much as a wobble. So sure, the headline writes itself, Messi made history again, but the more uncomfortable story for everyone else in this competition is what surrounds him now. No wild comeback needed, no penalties, no emotional rollercoaster. They absorbed the early nerves, weathered Algeria's brief spell of confidence, scored when it mattered, killed the game after the break, kept a clean sheet, and still found time to rest players for what's coming. That's not a team trying to win a match, that's a team managing a tournament. So here's the actual question coming out of Kansas City. If this Argentina can produce a historic night from Messi while also controlling territory, protecting their own box, rotating freely off the bench and limiting opponents to next to nothing in front of goal, how exactly is anyone supposed to break them down once the knockouts start?
The scary part isn't the hat-trick, it's how Argentina built the platform under him. In 2022, Messi was the emotional core, the creative reference point, the problem solver when games tightened. Mexico, he broke the tension from distance. Netherlands, his pass to Molina cracked the game open. France in the final, 2 goals, carrying a match that turned from control into pure mayhem.
That team had nerve and chemistry, but the ball had to find Messi too often before the attack felt alive. This version's different. Against Algeria, he finished the story without writing every page of it. Goal 1, De Paul splitting a line with exactly the pass he spent years learning to thread into Messi's feet, the kind of off-ball protection and midfield service that relationship's actually built on. Goal 2, Mac Allister forcing it, a strike too hot for Zidane to hold, Messi just first to the rebound, not isolated genius, a midfielder creating the panic himself. Goal 3, Nico Gonzalez on from the bench adding directness, then assisting the finish. Proof Scaloni's got starters who control matches and subs who change their rhythm. Messi finished, everyone else built it. Enzo kept things ticking, Mac Allister linked the thirds, De Paul gave it teeth, Almada starting an opener shows how far he's come from fringe squad player in Qatar. Lautaro had a quiet night, fine, bring on Alvarez, already decisive in Qatar and sharper since. Paz closed it out late, not a gamble, just a controlled finish to a dead game. That's the real shift. Play through Messi, sure, but they don't look lost without him. De Paul's verticality, Mac Allister's timing, Enzo's control, Almada's movement, Alvarez's pressing, Lautaro's instincts, Gonzalez's width, Paz's calm. That's not dependency, that's structure, and it's basically Scaloni's life's work. Copa America 2021 ended the drought, the 2022 Finalissima proved they could beat elite Europe, Qatar made them champions, Copa America 2024 proved the machine ran without Messi playing every minute.
The spine's still there, Messi, Otamendi, De Paul, but everything around it got refreshed without being torn up. Enzo and Mac Allister are leaders now, not prospects. Alvarez is seasoned, not a breakout kid. Almada starts World Cup openers. Medina made his debut and handled Algeria's width like he'd done it for years. 5 subs against Algeria, shape never wobbled. Molina for Montiel, Alvarez for Lautaro, Gonzalez for Almada, who then assisted, Otamendi for Romero, Paz for Messi to close it. Rhythm shifted, control didn't. That's just what tournament-winning teams do. They win through the bench too. Which makes the Qatar comparison interesting. That team had scar tissue you can't manufacture twice, 2 finals won on penalties, pure nerve. But football-wise, 2026 might be the more complete side, older, sharper, deeper, built to control games rather than survive them. And the moment Messi stops being asked to rescue every phase is exactly the moment he gets more dangerous. He's not carrying Argentina anymore, he's just finishing them off. The rest of the tournament has a problem. And it's not just Messi, it's Argentina's ability to win in completely different ways without ever giving anyone a route back into the game. 3-0 against Algeria looks simple on paper. In context, it's a lot scarier. Before Kansas City, they'd beaten Mauritania 2-1, Zambia 5-0, Honduras 2-0, and Iceland 3-0. Add Algeria, and that's 5 straight wins, 15 goals scored, 1 conceded. That's not form, that's tournament conditioning. They're in Group J with Algeria, Austria and Jordan, and Austria already won their own opener, 2-1 over Jordan. So the next game isn't a formality, it's the one that puts Argentina in full control of the group. It also lands with Messi 1 goal from standing alone as the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history. The record matters, but the bigger story is the control around it. 513 of 572 passes completed, 10 shots, 6 on target, clean sheet, and Algeria held to 0 shots on target despite their moments through Chaibi, Haj Musa, and later Mahrez. None of it ever became real punishment. That's the actual edge here. France have firepower, Brazil have brilliance, Germany can strangle you with the ball. Argentina's trick is different. They know how to take the disorder out of knockout football. Slow it down, defend the middle, foul smart, circulate, wait for the one sharp moment, then get even harder to play against once they're ahead. That's championship football, full stop. Which is why the question coming out of this isn't really about one good win. If Argentina can win this calmly, this many different ways, while defending the title they already hold, we might be watching something rarer than a hot start. We might be watching the first team since Brazil in 1962 to actually defend the World Cup.